This ruling will have a different impact across all 50 states. 13 have already banned the practice thanks to laws written so that they would take effect immediately upon Roe's overturning. Siouxland News anchor Katie Koppel joins us live in studio now to break down the impact of the ruling on the tri-state region and what the next steps are here. Katie?
Well, Larry, like you said, it's very different. South Dakota is one of 13 states with one of those trigger laws, so abortion is now illegal in the Rushmore state. South Dakota's law not only bans abortions, but also makes it a felony for medical professionals who provide abortions, which is punishable by up to 2 years in prison. Now, there is an exception to South Dakota's law from 2005, which allows abortions if there is a, quote, appropriate and reasonable medical judgment to save the life of the mother, such as an ectopic pregnancy. Now, South Dakota's Republican Governor Kristi Noem launched a new website today to help pregnant women and individuals find information and resources on topics such as adoption, financial assistance, and new parent tips. In Iowa, abortions are still legal until the 20th week of pregnancy, except to save the life of a parent or prevent a substantial and irreversible physical impairment of a major bodily function. But another state law passed in 2020 requires a 24-hour waiting period before an abortion procedure can be done. With today's Supreme Court ruling, the GOP-controlled legislature in Iowa can call a special session to pass stronger abortion restrictions in the state. And in Nebraska, there is not currently a trigger law on the books, meaning the current law in the state allows abortions until the 20th week of pregnancy. Republican Governor Pete Ricketts has said he does plan to call a special session for the unicameral legislature to pass stronger laws on abortion now that Roe is overturned. But no date for that session has been set. In reaction to the official Supreme Court decision came in swiftly from all corners in the moments after the court released its decision. Republican politicians like all three Siouxland governors, Kim Reynolds, Kristi Noem, and Pete Ricketts, generally praised the decision, while Democratic politicians like Iowa Representative Sidney Axne and Governor candidate Dieter DeGier excoriated it, calling it on voters to elect pro-choice politicians in November to put abortion protections into law. We've also got local reaction on both sides of the abortion issue, with J.D. Scholten, a Democrat running for Iowa House this fall, predicting this won't be the end for anti-Roe legal cases.
I think what we're going to see is in the state legislation some more extreme laws. I mean, we're talking about like making contraceptives illegal, and that's just a dangerous path to go down, and enforcing pregnancies when we don't have the adequate care around there.
Now, Scholten says the decision flies in the face of not only decades of legal precedents, but the opinion of a solid majority of voters, even here in Iowa.
But what we saw was 60% of voters in Northwest Iowa they consider themselves pro-life, but also 60% of Northwest Iowa thinks abortion should be legal in some capacity. And I think that's something that when we talk about where we need to go from here, a lot of it's protecting mothers, protecting women, protecting a lot of the vulnerable people, and that's what I'm hoping to help protect.
Now, Scholten currently has no Republican opponent for the House District 1 election in November. And one of the strongest opponents of Roe v. Wade over the past 5 decades have been churches, with the Catholic Church strongly opposing abortion. The Diocese of Sioux City and its Bishop R. Walker Nicholas releasing a statement celebrating today's decision by the Supreme Court to reverse Roe, but like South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem, expressing a desire to care for women through and after birth.
The Catholic Church has stood long on the principle that the sanctity of life is paramount, and we also need to look at how can we support women if they are in a situation where they're considering abortion. That's where we can come in and provide support.
Bishop Nicholas also expressing his sentiment that more work needs to be done nationally and in Iowa to fully end the practice of abortion. Celebration among anti-abortion groups began this morning and is still going on across the country, and that includes here in downtown Sioux City, where a pro-life rally is taking place outside the courthouse. That's currently scheduled to go until about 6:30 tonight. Now, meanwhile, a Defend Bodily Autonomy rally is set to begin at 6 o'clock outside the Federal Building downtown, a few blocks away, one of several pro-choice rallies scheduled at sites across Iowa.